Let's take a look at how to create a one-page flyer using InDesign. And for this, I'm gonna use an A4 size file, and we're gonna create a medical flyer for a medical service that provides doctors. So let's just click on this, and it'll just show up right like so. I don't need this panel, so I'll just close tab group. Alright, so first things first, we're gonna create a rectangle. Now I'm gonna take one rectangle tool here, or you can use the shortcut M. I'll just click and drag right like so. There's a in height, maybe I'll just change this to millimeters so the calculation would be better. Okay, so maybe this much of the page will have this heading title here, and maybe I'll just change the color to cyan. Here I'll just give a none. I'll use the slash shortcut to remove the stroke. We'll just go in here and choose maybe this blue here. Next, I'm going to use my frame tool, rectangle frame tool. Click here, and I'm going to drag and draw in a way that it overlaps the text frame. There's going to be our text frame, and here we're going to put our image. So I'm going to use file place command, or you can use shortcut Control D. Click here, I'll put my image in the desktop, and I'm in downloads. Okay. An image with a doctor on it. You can use any similar image. And the image is here, I can see it right now. All I have to do is go in this option and fill frame proportionally, and give an auto fit option as well. So I'm gonna use this arrange option here, arrange and send to back, and there I have my, I'll just select this guy and hold shift, and maybe I'll just place it like so. I'm going to go here, and from here I'm going to go to the opacity. I'm going to bring it down a little bit, like 70% or something. And also I'm going to just click and drag and place it right like so. I think this is a little bit too small, so I'm just going to increase the height of this. And also I'm gonna increase this as well, the frame size. Okay, and I'll just reduce the size of the guy here, and make sure I see a little bit of his arms. I'm using content grabber tool here, maybe a little bit smaller than this as well. Content grabber, place him like that. Okay, it seems okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and use my text tool, type tool, and I'm gonna type "We provide best" with the caps lock on. We go to the type tool again and choose font railway. black. We'll increase the font size right like so, and I'm gonna place it here. So way too much, the font size. I'm gonna reduce it back. Okay, somewhere around here would be fine, I think. Let's double click on here. Okay, this will fit perfectly. I think the font weight is a little too big, so I'll just go ahead in this my text section, choose this, click here, type, double click here, select all, and maybe I'll just bring it down to extra bold. It's a little too big for bold. Okay, this one is fine. I'm gonna choose the font color to be white. So I'm gonna go here, type tool, go here and choose white. It's gonna be the background color. I don't want the background. This as choose the text, and here I'm gonna bring it up white color. We provide best, and I'm gonna alt and click and drag to copy this frame, and I'm gonna type here medical. Also, I was gonna increase the font size a bit, text font size bigger, and also I'm gonna increase the weight as well. I'm gonna bring it to bold, extra bold or something like this, right? And click and drag again, and this time I'm gonna type doctors. A little too big, the frame is. I'll just bring down the font a bit, and I'll bring down the weight as well. Bold, maybe semi-bold would do. And this seems okay. I'll just reduce the spacing between these text boxes. Just here, a little bit more inside here. Okay, that seems okay to me. I'll just move forward with the rest of the design. Next, I'm going to use a rectangle tool and click and drag and make a little bit of an underlining like effect. I'm going to fill it with white color. Go to hue and choose white, pure white. And I'm going to select this, press slash key to remove the stroke. So I have a little rectangle like so. And just drag it like here, maybe here within, so it kind of highlights this heading here. And I'm gonna take this text frame as again, we can drag, bring down the font size, like 12 would do, and we'll place type and fill it with the placeholder text. So I need to remove this, fill it with placeholder text. Again, I'll select and type, fill with placeholder text. Okay, it seems okay now. Maybe I'll just reduce the font a bit as well. These are way too big, I guess. And go to paragraph and remove hyphenate. Okay. A little bit down, I guess here. Shift and down arrow key to move them one step down. I'll hold shift and select all of these elements. Except this, I'm gonna lock this. Also, I'm gonna lock this one and select all of these so they won't be disturbed. I'll just bring it a tad up a little bit like so. Alright, seems okay. And here I'm gonna just take a few squares, click and drag, and choose the color to be this one, okay, and the opacity to be full this time. I can hold Alt and drag. I can release the Alt and I can use the up arrow key, and I can get the number of copies here, right like so. Seemingly this square is a little bit too big for that. So I'll just reduce down the size, right like so. Hold Alt and press again the up arrow key. I'll try that again. Hold Alt and up arrow key. And make sure these are tightly connected to each other. Right like so, and can bring down the height now. Okay, now this is equally divided into 3 different columns. Okay, I can also go ahead and extend this one so that it matches the first one. Just go ahead and lock that and click and drag, and there. This will have a little darker shade. Let's go to saturation. A little darker and a little more saturated. Okay. Choose this one and let's just copy this one for a while. Okay. And I will even further darken this. Using brightness, bring it dark. And saturation in. Go OK. Using this gives you a good color scheme using the brightness and the saturation. So now I'm gonna use this type tool. Click and drag. We'll type emergency in here. The fonts are not available. Just use the type tool. Railway. I use a different font here and switch to local language, native language. Okay, so here railway, font and emergency. Type tool and a medium. Medium seems fine. Let's place it right like so. I can place it in the middle here, but I'm gonna need a few icons right now. I have prepared a file. I can open recent and these icons file. This is the icon I have downloaded from the internet. Just Control C copy, and I'm going to see Control V paste here. Okay. So I have a few other icons as well. Let's select both of these. Control C and paste them as well. Control V. Also, I will select all of these together. Icons. Select, hold Shift. Make sure you are properly selecting the icons. You can also select the background by mistake. So make sure where you click. So I'm just gonna bring down the size of these icons all together so that I don't have the proportion problems later on. Okay, and this icon will have white fill, so I can go ahead and change in here with the white fill as well. Okay, do the same with these. Go to hue, switch to white and clear. Or you could just use the eyedropper tool and sample white, just right like so. I'm gonna arrange these properly now. Use this, bring it here. This one goes at actual center of the page. Select all these three icons. Select, and select. Make sure they're aligned using the align tool. Alright. They are aligned in one line. Now I'm going to make sure that these two are aligned with respect to this square box that is behind. So I'm just going to go to align options here and select these. Align to key object. I'm going to make my key object the background and I'm going to make it center. Okay, they are now center. The font would look better if it had a white fill, so I'll just click here and give a white fill real quick, and maybe a little rectangle below for aesthetic purposes. Click and drag. Okay, click on this and give the stroke as none. Select both of these and I'm gonna make this a key object again. This one, make it a central line as well. There's a little bit of space in here that can be fixed, no problem. Alright, so I'm gonna use this. Hold Alt and we'll copy this. And we'll hold Alt again and bring it right like so. I need to center this, I guess. Hold this. All of these as center. I'm going to make a key object as the background. Central line. Might have to do this here as well. I'll just select all of these objects, go to the key object and make this key object and central line. Okay, it was a tad bit, but it did the job right. Now I'm going to type in here healthcare. Again, central line with the background one more time. Double click here to extend this and select background object, key object again. This will be the key object and central line. Okay. This will be the diagnosis. Double click here and this will fit. Select the background and the word. I'll go ahead and give the key object again and we'll central line. Okay. Okay, now I have a little space here. I'll just make sure to fill it with a placeholder text. Just give it a little small, something like this. bring down the text size to maybe 7 point, and I'm going to change the font to Railway because I'm going to keep that as my theme as well. Okay, I'm going to give a medium and type fill with placeholder text. Maybe I want to center align these as well, so I'll just use text and center align. Okay, that seems fine, but I want to remove the hyphenation here, so I'll go back to paragraph settings and click on the hyphenate. Here again, I'm going to use this white font. I'm going to choose white font again, click OK, and this looks pretty fine, I guess. Preview mode on, and this is something it would look like. Maybe I just want to bring this a little bit down, and also the font size as well. Font will seem a little too big for me, and I'll just select all of these. Type fill with placeholder text again so that it fills up right like so. Also, this needs to be aligned with the previous the back object as well. Click here, shift click here, align to key object. This is the key object, align, center. Okay, so we alt and drag, be at the center, absolute center. Okay, alt drag, and that gives me an equal distance, and release. Okay, smart guides are really helpful here in creating this one. Now I'm going to place 3 images here, so I'm going to take a frame tool, click and drag right like so. Maybe this much. I'll hold alt and drag, and again I'm going to use that smart copying option. I'm going to hold up arrow key, and there's going to give me a box in the center as well. Release. Okay, maybe I'll just bring this in a little bit. I'll just hold shift and right arrow key, and that's going to bring me one more step inside. I'm going to hold shift and left arrow key for this one, and it'll bring me something like this. I'm going to use the place option here, and this is going to be just one here. Okay, this one. Port and Control D. I'm going to use shortcut again here. I'm going to have this one here, and Control D, and this one, finally this one here. Open and select all these frames. Fill portion proportionally, content, auto fit. I don't need auto fit right now, so I'll just keep it here, and maybe I'll just drag it like so. Okay, fill frame proportionally, and yeah, I'd like to see that option here. Okay, so that's done here. And now I'm gonna add a little more details here, our activities and something like those, and our flyer will be done by that. I'm going to use this text frame, hold click and drag. Got here. I'm going to use this color, so I'm going to use eyedropper and there. I want this to be in the text, so use eyedropper. Click here, eyedropper. There. Alright, I'm just going to copy this color code. Copy, Control C. I'm gonna give this as none and choose the text here and go here, and we'll paste the color code here. Okay, that will give me the exact color code, right, like so. I'm going to type in here about us, and exclamation mark. Double click at the corner and that will bring out this. Okay, let's just bring down the font a bit. 25 would do. Just type in 25 and double click again, and that will fit the text frame. I'm gonna have one more rectangle below, right, like so. Use the fill color, hit this one. And I have a little placeholder text here. Bring down the font. Maybe I'll just choose this one as a placeholder text. Just delete this. Click and drag, Alt, and there. Use the eyedropper tool and pick this color. Again, I want this to be in the here and here. Okay. I'll just keep this as black because this text doesn't need to be highlighted. So I'll just choose black for this. Okay. Go to text and paragraph. Choose left align. Looks more balanced. Double click here and this will be fit in. Okay, this will be fit. Double click and fit. Okay. Here I'm gonna have our activities. Maybe I'll use this guide option here. Maybe I'll split this page in half. There, I have split in half. Okay. Now, our activities. I'll just click and drag, hold Alt and click and drag this one, this text. Okay. Our activities. I'll just select this one and bring down the weight of this font. Click here and I'll just bring down this to bold. Let's check. It doesn't seem to be noticeable. Bring down one more step. That's semi-bold. Yeah, it is more noticeable now. So I'm going to copy this font here and we'll use the type tool. Just going to use the two of these lines and backspace. Okay. Double click here and maybe I'll just want to have this a little bit shorter. Also, I'm going to need this element as well, so I'll drag there, and there I'm going to have it. Alright, so that's that. I'm going to click here and remove this one as well. Right, so there, and I'm going to have this little box here. It's going to have blue fill, so I'm going to just sample this color and blue fill. It is going to have a tick mark in it, so I'm going to use the line tool. I have this line and this line. Right, so I'll just use the direct selection tool and bring this a little bit close here. Seems to be way too small. Okay, this will extend, I guess. Alright, so I'm just going to select both of these and maybe I'll just transform it down. If that doesn't work that way, I'll find another way. And that's about it. And I'm going to choose a white color here and go here, pure white. Okay, and I'll place it right like so. Give Control G to group both of these, and I'm going to have this a little smaller. Alright, that seems okay, fit and fine. Maybe I'll just make it center. Seemed okay. Alright, so that seems okay. I'll bring it a little closer to this. And I'm going to select both of these and hold Alt drag. That is going to give me copies. And I'm going to give up arrow key. And that is going to give me 4 copies at equal distances. Release. And that's that. That's our activities section. I'm going to need some space here. So I'm going to just rearrange these things right like so. Just select all of these and give Control L to lock them. And I'll select these, maybe Shift up arrow key, a little bit up, and maybe with the content as well, Shift up arrow key, maybe a little bit down. The content here, select all of these, Shift up arrow key, and I have a little bit more space as well. So I'll just select. Unlock all of these. Double click here. I'll just go into the layers panel and just unlock them right like so. Okay, I'm going to select all of these now and maybe bring down the size a little bit more. And then seems about right, and I'll just select whole of this lot and the Shift up arrow key and we'll bring it a tad bit up. And maybe one more step, Shift up arrow key, Shift up arrow key, and there. And that's gonna give me enough spacing to work with that. I'll just select all of these 3 blocks, hold Alt and drag the bottom of the margin. I'm going to bring down the height, and there will be my additional information. That is going to be location, phone number, and email address. I have these icons here. It's Control C and Control V here. Just bring it down the size. This one's gonna be a location. This is gonna be a phone number, and this one has the email address. And select all of these, align them in one single line. This one. Make sure these are white. Maybe I'll just select both of these and use eyedropper. Same white as well. And those two are white now. Alright, so I'll just use this text frame, click Alt drag and bring it down. Type tool. 1, 2, 3. ABC Street. I just bring the street. New York. And New York, USA maybe. And that seems about fine. We'll click here and that will just adjust. I would choose the font to be white. Double click. Okay. Click all of these. Choose key object and make this as a key object. Center align. So this guy now, this text, use this text for consistency, size and all. Hit the center. Just type and that's a 10-digit number. Click here and bring it center align. Alt drag here. Company mail. Double click here and it will bring me this here .com. Okay, double click. Again, we need to align this, and this at the center. So key object, click on this to make a key object, center align, and there we have our flyer ready. Press W to preview, Control 0. And that's our flyer. That's how you make a flyer in InDesign.